What's going on, guys? I'm Tyler, and today I wanted to give you guys some competitive setups for Cypher on Split. I went over these on my Twitch stream that you can find at twitch.tv/TylerShanks_. Link for that is in the description. Like and subscribe if you guys like this kind of content, and enjoy the video. So for Split, I'll start off on B. For the main camera spot here, this is the best camera spot that I know for this
goes
map.
here.
It's super high and watches the main entrance towards it. So anybody pushing in, they're never going to check that high up. That's way too high to even see. If you're looking up high here, looking for headshots, checking that corner, that camera is way too high. So that'll see everybody pushing in. You'll get that info. And they can also see heaven if you need it for a retake. It won't see deep into heaven, but it's up there. Some other options that you have are over here. This is another main one, if you can get it on that white thing. You have to be on this box, I think.
Yes, this
a little bit, but you can get it up there and you can see a little bit more into garage. And you can put it further back too.
That goes there.
To see more into garage. And you get more vision of sight too, and usually where the enemies are going to be. So those are my main two cameras there. And as far as tripwires go, this main one you can always put. I see a lot of people using this tripwire.
Yes, this should
but I personally hate this tripwire because it's so easy to jump over and dodge. If Sage walls this and they know it's there, they can always jump over it, or it doesn't even matter at that point of the wall. So avoid the tripwire there just because it's easy to avoid. Other tripwires, this is another one that's also kind of easy to avoid, but it's good for a switch up because they're not usually pushing slowly through here. They're usually pushing quickly, so you can take advantage of this tripwire by holding somewhere like this. And then also, I usually tend to hold up here because mid is so important. And this is a good tripwire for mid because it's a little bit harder to shoot out from this end. They can shoot it out this end just as easily, but it would require them turning all the way around for it. And you can take advantage of that by just playing over here or on top of this. So those are my main two trips.
This goes here.
For when I'm holding B with a camera up here. That's my go-to setup for that.
Yes, this should do.
And now another really important part of Split is mid. Mid is arguably the most important part. So for mid, you could have a Cypher solo, not solo holding mid, but you should probably usually have two people holding mid on Split. And always someone here regardless of whether the bomb goes down or not. Just to have somebody picking it up, just to have mid control. If you're holding mid, you could trip this off when the round starts, but anything over on this staircase can be dodged by hitting this barrel over here. So I recommend more spots like this or directly in this doorway, which I'm pretty sure you can set that one up before the round starts. But holding these doors more specifically, it's less efficient than if you can have a tripwire just going straight across this entry point, but you can't do that. So these are your best tripwires for this. And if you're holding mid too, I also like to help out on B. You can't really help as much on A because you have to go through all the ropes, but this is the end that I usually like to hold on to for defense on Split if I'm holding mid. As far as cameras go, that wall used to be useful to put a camera on the back of, but at this point isn't anything else as effective. This is good to watch the push through here once they start pushing, but it's very limited. It's probably not going to get shot out though, so that's a good option there. You could also just have your cameras quickly put out your cameras quickly to get a quick peek, but then that's going to get shot out. From this side, you could use the camera over here, and you can see a little bit. You can even use this to protect it a little bit, but it kind of cuts off your vision too. And you do have to wait for the round to start to do that too. You can kind of see through here and get some broken vision through. And also, really the best part about putting it over here is you'll be able to see backs as they're pushing up. Enemies aren't going to be clearing mid, clearing out all the doors and everything like that, and then look back up here. They're not going to pay attention to that spot. So that's a good place to put your camera and your tripwires for holding mid. Now for A I don't usually hold enough. I think it's more fun to hold than B. It's a bit harder, which is better for Cypher because Cypher is the best defender, arguably, with Sage. One camera spot you can use is back here. You can jump up and get the camera up here and see straight towards that connector there and the main entrance to A. See anybody who crosses by. That one, you can shoot this out too. So don't think this is like invincible because of the screen. You can shoot through that. So that's one of the main camera spots. And then this camera spot I kind of enjoy a little bit more. If you put it here and kind of, I forget where it is exactly. I think in line with this maybe. No, it's a little bit closer. I think you have to hit it on this. Pretty much in line with this. You can get it up high. it's better off that way. And you can see if anybody crosses through the main entrance towards mid, and you can also see backs when they're pushing up through here. Again, that's another high out of the way spot, and if you're not using that camera, like, they'll push through here, and even if they hear it, it's hard to pick out. And once they are pushed up here, having the info as to whether they're on this corner or this one or this one, it's all very useful information, especially if you have a gun that can wallbang and they're holding somewhere like there. You'll be able to shoot through it at pretty much all angles. And then this too, at certain angles too. You can see the bullet holes. I'm not actually sure if this goes all the way through, but if you're just on the edge, it will. So that's my favorite camera spot for this spot, for on A. This camera still works. For some reason, they didn't patch this out, I don't think. So you can see if they're pushing immediately, but that's going to get shot out. Then you're going to be on a 45-second cooldown. So be careful with that one. You can also put it in other spots back here. You can put it back here, which if you get this right, you'll have great vision over here. Again, that's another one that's hard to see. For them, it's a lot harder to see than for you seeing through it because you're so much closer to the edges that are blocking the sight. That's another good camera spot. And you can also put it just anywhere on site where you're going to see the enemy's backs when they push in. You can't put it... Oh, wait. You can put it on here still. A little bit. So you'll be able to get a lot of vision on site here in heaven if you put it here and just keep that camera hidden at the beginning of the round. A lot of options there. As far as tripwires go, one of my favorites, especially because what you have to... The starting barrier is right here. So this camera is going to take you a second to set up after the round starts. But once you are there, you can set up a tripwire here, which is a decent trip. And you can get a lot of info with your camera and play off of that super well. So holding and protecting heaven is pretty good up here with the cameras and the tripwires. And also a very basic tripwire just right here. Super standard, super obvious, but it's easy to play off of. If you stand just right around here in heaven, you can play off that tripwire, you can play off that tripwire. It's one of the better spots to hold for split on A. You can also get a little bit weird with your holding. If you want to hold this, you can put your tripwires here. And I don't remember. Yeah, there's a spot here too. So you can hold on site if you want to and just play if anybody gets close, because people don't tend to plant out here in front. They tend to go back here or back here. So if you have those tripwires set up there, you're ready to play off of them from back here. It's kind of a much more of a risky spot, and there's not many escapes that you can have, but you can still make it work. Or you could even play back here too. You can have some sight up there, and if they start pushing here, you can play off of both of those tripwires if you peek this corner. So there's a couple options for A on how you want to hold that. A few switch up options too. And the cameras up there or there will also help you if you're playing back there or something like that. So that's pretty much it. One last camera spot for you. My friend OP77 from my Discord server, also from the Twitch stream, he shared this camera spot with me. It's just going to be a couple of screenshots, but if you look at this spot that he's looking at here, jump and place the camera, you'll be able to see most of the site of A and also the spawn once they start walking out. This is a really good camera spot, and thanks again to Opie for showing this one to me. I'm definitely going to start using this spot too. So that's it for this one, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also go follow me on Twitch. Join my Discord server too. We share stuff like this all the time. Thanks again for watching.